22nd and 9 games at 419. Yankees said, get on up here. Play for us. Driven out to left field and deep. Going back, Alvarez turning, looking. Welcome to the big league. See ya. A home run for Dominguez in his first big league at bat.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest edition of Bronx Machachos Podcast. I'm your host, Mark. I got the family with me. I got Danny.
Here, what's good, everybody?
And got Alex.
Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing well.
And for everyone who's watching right now, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on YouTube. Let us know what's up. Give us some love out there. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, you know where to be. We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're on Google. We're on every spot. We're through and through. Just go check us out. Give us some love on those spots as well. All right. So without further ado, we're catching up now. We got 3 games set that's going on. As we're talking, the Yankees are playing the Arizona Diamondbacks in the third game. Lost the first 2. The first game it was kind of a gut punch. They had that game in hand until the bullpen kind of gave it up. Yesterday, not really much you could do against Zach Gallen. I mean, he was dealing. He was wheeling and dealing. He's showing that he's the number one pitcher. You know, not looking at it in a Yankee perspective, but looking at it in an Arizona perspective, they're the real deal with the pitching. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. They're gonna give the Dodgers a run for money. They're gonna give San Diego a run for their money too. So that's a 3-horse race out there. And you know, I predicted early in the season that Dodgers gonna win, but San Diego and Arizona, they're both gonna take a wild card spot. I'm doubling down on that still. That was my prediction from before the first game. I'm gonna keep that going. Love what they're doing out there. Well, Arizona even gave Ketel Marte an extension, which kind of was in the big day of extensions that were going on with Jackson Merrill and Christian Campbell. Garrett Crochet as well. I mean, there a bunch of extensions are happening, which is good for baseball. It's good for some of the players. The young guys, they're leaving a lot of money on the table. Like Jackson Merrill should have had a 2 in front of that number. Like that for me, it would have been 2.
Well, depending on escalators and how he does throughout the duration of the 9 years,
it's only like
up to 204.
Well, I thought it was only like a $30 million escalator.
No, it's going to go up to 204. If Jackson Merrill stayed on the trajectory of where he's at, athletic center fielder, 20 homers, 20 bags, and giving you 80 to 90 RBIs with the potential for more, like you're talking about 300 million. At that point in time, the way things are going.
Not with the salaries, but you know what? But it's funny. I will say the funniest thing during his press conference about it, he turns around and goes, "I don't need $700 million. I don't, I got a good group of guys. I don't need to be the most, biggest paid guy. I don't need to go to some other team for $700 million." That's shot. Shots fired.
What a nice little dig.
That's shots fired at Ohtani and at Soto.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't wrong though. Let's be freaking real. Everyone's acting like, "Oh my gosh, that's what you gotta do." Like, you can make a good living with what on a normal salary, and you don't gotta be $700 million, and that's the only way I'm gonna be able to live life. Nah, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but he's living in California. It's a whole different. Yeah, but he's in California. It's a whole different ballgame. He's getting
different ballgame out there.
He's getting like 60% of that money taxed out there.
Listen, if you're a rookie in the big leagues, you're making a good living. All right, don't get it twisted. $700,000, no matter where you're at, you're in a good spot. So to go from that to a couple $1 million now for Jackson Merrill and for Christian Campbell, Garrett Crochet.
And then Ketel Marte got another extension, a second extension from them.
Essentially, second one for him now. Good for them. And this kind of gives the Yankees a little room for at least Yankee fans, because Brian Cash was not fazed by this. This is not how he does business, but it gives us Yankee fans things to talk about in terms of extending our guys. But I digress.
I mean, if you're going to talk about people extending that, the only real person that's going to be saying that in our camp is going to be freaking El Jefe right there. He's the only one going to be saying that, because you and me already know for a fact that's not going to happen yet. But Mark over here, on the other hand, I'm not going to mind read, but I'm mind reading, because he's going to probably be the first one to be like, let's start doing some extensions already.
Well, listen, we've done them, the Yankees have done them in the past, right? So on the real, I mean, one of the first ones they ever did was Robinson Cano, and that turned out to be really good. But I actually had a conversation with this last night on another show, and they kind of get scared off. I mean, the Aaron Hicks extension was a horrible idea, just one of the worst things to do.
We're still paying for it.
Yeah, the Severino one unfortunately bit them in the ass because of the injuries that happened. So the Yankees' MO is, if something goes bad and what they do, they stay away from doing that for quite some time. Again, take simple things like an example of going after Cuban players not after El Duque, but after Jose Contreras. It didn't work out, and they did not go after a Cuban player for quite some time. Like they have not gone after, like, in the international, not international free agent market, but like the big market where it's like a professional players coming over. Like they could have gotten Yohan Moncada back in the day when everyone was going for him, and they stopped themselves from doing it. That's a Hal thing, but whatever. Take a look at even drafting. Yankees didn't go drafting in Florida for years after Mason Williams and Dante Bichette Jr. just did not pan out. They stayed away from going for high school players in Florida. So they have a track record of doing this. If they were to give an extension, I think Wells is the first one to go for the first one that they signed for an extension. 5 at $80 million a year, I think, is a perfect number for Wells, to be honest with you. And you got to kind of go from there. And that's on the pre-arb kind of guys. I mean, if you want to go really, what you think is Jazz is probably the guy that you do it for. Jazz will be, and he's showing out. And he's so far early in the season, he's showing out. I mean, you want to go down, think about extensions, think about giving Jazz a 5-year extension at like 100 plus, maybe 150 or something like that. Maybe not 150, no, 30 mil a year, but you know what I'm saying? Like maybe get into like 20, 25 mil a year.
I mean, I've definitely had that.
That's high.
I mean, you and me already had this discussion, and we had it on the last episode, and I will stick to my thing about the Jazz is that this is going to be the year that they want to test out the pressure of the city. They're testing out the pressure of being a Yankee. They're going to see if he could handle it under that before. They want to see if he could do it that way before they even give him money type of extension. Because if he can't handle the pressure, then or handle the commitment of commercials and everything else that young man has to do, then it's not going to be worth it to give him the money for an extension because he doesn't have it to be in the city.
Listen, in his first 50 games as a Yankee, he's proven to be an all-star level player, and he's at the point right now where he's hitting behind Judge, and they're walking Judge. We saw what happened in Milwaukee, and he's in the position now to, if there was anybody to give an extension to, he's got 2.5 years of control left, right? Pre-arb, he's probably making less than $10 million. In arbitration, right? So if you're going to look past the arbitration numbers and you want to give him a free agent contract, it would be probably 5 to 7 years. And you're looking at $15 to $18 million a year. I wouldn't go to that 20 to 25.
I'm not disagreeing with you at any of the money of the extension. That's not my debate, or even his playing. Yes, the man could play. He could the ball. Let's just be freaking real. But like, my thing is, can he handle the added pressures? That's what I'm saying. Like the country, like publicity and all the PR, and will he let that kind of shit? But that's what I'm saying. I agree. But will he let it? But you got to understand, Danny. Will he let it get to his head and then be some sort of free flow going on afterwards? You don't understand. Remember, he's going from Miami, where he felt like he was the biggest fish in the world. Now he knows that he's not. He knows for a fact he's not the biggest fish in the Yankees, but he also knows but we don't know where it could lead off. Maybe he might fall off for having the pressure be too much for him, or maybe he thrives in it. I'm hoping the man thrives in it because it'll be great for the system, and it'll be great for baseball in general to have young men that have the energy that he has, that has the passion that he has. Like, come on, I'm a freaking damn anime lover, and the guy loves anime over here. I mean, I want the man to succeed. Like, realistically, he's my wife's favorite freaking damn player from spring training. She was looking at, he's like, oh yeah, I like Jazz. That man wants to play around. He's all loose and everything. That's my type of player. I'm like, yes, he's a good guy.
He is a perfect fit for New York. When we got him last year, I was worried just because of all the stuff that happened on the podcast and with Miguel Rojas and coming from Miami. But in this 50-game stretch, he had an up and down World Series. He had an up and down postseason. But he came out this year focused, and the fact that Aaron Judge has protection in Chisholm at this point in time, the way the lineup is currently constructed, and he's cashing in another home run today, and he's just swaggy. I was starting to really love Chisholm, and like to the point that we're making. I think he'll be a great candidate to extend.
Listen, the bold man on the team here, this guy right here, was the one who actually liked that we got Chisholm last year. And I thought I'm saying the oldest one. Yes, well, I'm saying that I'm the old one here. That's what I'm saying.
You said bold, okay? You said that you're just using your boldness for a reason, sir.
No, I'm just saying I'm old. I got the gray hair going. That's why. And I got it's funny.
What is this? What is this? What the fuck is this?
I got a couple, like, just hanging around.
Well, millennials trying to get in on this conversation.
Just two. Like, shit, in 10 years, I'm going to be like you guys.
Come join the party.
I'm going to be straight up. I'm not looking forward to the next 10 years. If this thing turns into like my dad's turned into, I'm going to look like damn Santa Claus.
Yeah. Silver Fox, man. That's what that is. You just
some salt, man. Just rock the salt and pepper. That's what it's going to come down to. Man. I'll do the salt and pepper.
I'm going to rock it. I'm already rocking it.
That's
what get some Rogaine.
No, just bring it home.
I'm good. I don't die.
Rogaine, you gotta do just for men is what you gotta do.
Oh, just for men. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm
not
dying.
quite there yet, so I don't know what.
I'm not dying. Nothing. Okay.
Get the chocolate espresso. Gotta do chocolate espresso going on, sir.
Okay, Rogaine is for the top. I bet.
Maybe.
And you can do hymns also free advertising for Rogaine for Rogaine just for men and hymns going right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Free publicity.
This is great for our 35 to 50 audience.
Exactly.
Don't forget the blue pill could help out too. There we go. Even now we can even get more.
Just kidding.
That's what Hims takes care of all of that, bro.
Yeah.
That's what Hims is for. That's complete men's health.
There we go. Don't need the rest of them. You got it all right there. But we're talking.
Danny's not just the spokesman. He's also the client.
No, my stuff works still, thankfully.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest.
So, moving on to.
I was going to say, getting back on topic. We're talking about one thing you just brought up with the batting order, with Jazz hitting behind Judge, getting the damage. I like what I see in front of him too. It was funny enough because we talked about game one was Wells batting first, then it was Judge, then it was Belly, and then every game since then it's been for the most. They sat Wells today, but it had been, and they sat Goldie, but it was Goldie, Belly, Judge. I like that lineup better. I mean, personally, I think Judge is going to flourish in the three. You saw it last year. He said for years that he likes batting third. He doesn't like batting second. He's your captain. He is the dude on your team. If he's sitting there telling you that he likes batting third, stop with it. For me, stop with the nerds putting him in second at that point. Just leave him third and let him be happy at this point. Let him be happy. We saw the blueprint last year with Soto. You can continue this now with Bellinger. Yes, he's not Soto, but I think Bellinger can get a lot of fastballs that you don't want to throw to Judge, and you want to challenge Bellinger a little bit more, and he could do damage with that ball. So I like what I see. I told you guys earlier in our chat, I like tonight that J-Dom is batting in front of Volpe. J-Dom 2 for 4 today. Volpe 1 for 4. No knocking either one, but J-Dom's the bat's coming around. Like he's getting there. Like he played a full game yesterday in the outfield. I'm hoping that that's going to continue as well. That he's got a good shot at playing the full game today, and that could be the catalyst to kind of push him forward and give him like all the confidence in the world to continue in left field and continue on his just mashing and doing what he's got to do and becoming the complete player that he needs to be.
Breaking news: JC Escara got his first big league hit. Woo! That a boy, JC.
FIU Panther alumni. Woo!
Yeah. Highly a boy.
I can say that. That's my unit.
It's pretty dope to see him. But yeah, back to the lineup. You guys are a proponent for judging that 2-hole, just because
I understand the numbers. Yeah,
but for me, and I'll give an example. Today's game, there was a situation where Cody got like a 3-1 breaking ball, right? He was behind. He was up in a count, and I forgot who was pitching. It might have been Kelly still pitching.
Probably was.
I think it was still Kelly pitching, and Judge obviously hit him behind him. In that situation, you want that fastball. With Judge hitting behind you, you're gonna try to get him out on 3-1. You're not gonna get a 3-1 cookie down down the middle, like like Milwaukee did that first entire series. Like that's the downfall of having Judge behind Belly, in my opinion. I mean, Judge got the job done with 2 outs with Ben Rice on second and later in the inning, but that's just what it is. Like, do you face Bellinger with?
I mean,
With Judge
you're talking
behind him?
about when Judge did the 3-run homer?
No,
No, when he
I'm
got
talking
the
about
single.
later in the game.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got the
when he got
single.
the single up the middle to score Ben
Oh
Rice.
yeah, that one.
Yeah. So, and even that was a mistake pitch.
It was.
I don't think Kelly really wanted to face him, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm gonna yes, but the reason I'm always gonna be prone for it, and I am more for the Goldschmidt way over having a lefty in the top of the top, for the fact of the matter that I like. And it's always also going to be very, very much depending on who's pitching. But I like, let's say if it's a lefty up there, I want it to be righty, lefty, righty. So that way, boom, you're going to have, so for the matchup purposes and everything like that. And then as in today where it was Kelly, it was a very, very lefty heavy lineup if you really, really look at it. So like, I understand that's going to be very situational and everything like that. But having Judge in the 3-hole is something I've been talking about since the beginning, and he has been against it forever. Yeah, I know this, but I think he may be changing his mind now. He may be changing it now.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm against it. I just think that having him in the 2-hole is more advantageous.
I agree where you're saying, but I also it's kind of like a very old school way of looking at it, that having him being in that 3-hole, you're putting added pressure onto that pitcher. So that way, especially in like I say, in the beginning of games, look what happened in today's game. Very simply, where you have Kelly, that you have Rice, and then you also have freaking Belly on, and then what happens? Freaking mistake hit. Exactly, a mistake, 3-run home run out of nowhere. That boom, going out there, and then and the Yankees are just starting off on fire and everything like that, where it helped out. So I like the idea that there's a possibility of a 3-run home run for Judge being on bat versus a 2-run home run in the beginning of a game for Judge coming up there, where it gets the psyche of these pitchers, like I say, especially very early in the game before they have actually gotten into their rhythm, that they're already like, oh, well, now we're in the second inning already. I already got past that first inning hiccup or bumps or whatever, that mistake I did in the first inning. And now I'm just going to be just cruising down until I get to the 6th inning. And when I'm out, that's not what I want to see. I want to see, like today, you got a man on first and second. Boom, the big man comes up. Big man does his job. And now all of a sudden it's a 3-0 game.
I'm not against it, especially if it works. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
If the captain wants to hit in that 3rd spot, let him do what he's got to do. But obviously, matchups and situations certainly make a difference. So I'm here for it as long as it works. Which it will. He's the captain. He's the best player in baseball. Outside of Shohei Ohtani, who could do both, Aaron Judge is the best player in baseball. He's the best right-handed hitter that I've ever seen.
I mean, I think we would all agree on what you're just saying, but like, let's be real. If anyone saw the standings from ESPN does not agree. They putting him as number 4. That's a freaking, that's a blasphemy right there on alone. It's like, how are you going to put the man who's basically the AL MVP? If there was no Ohtani, he will be the unanimous MVP for both leagues. Like, let's be fucking real. Like, this is bullshit. And it's the bias that ESPN has towards the Yankees going on still, because they hate it for them being in Massachusetts. They just always have and always will hate anything that has to deal with the Yankees.
Connecticut. They're in Bristol, Connecticut.
I don't give a fuck. I don't get paid by those assholes anyway.
Red Sox country. The fact that they put Mookie Betts ahead of him, Mookie Betts is a great ball player. He's multiple-time batting champion, multiple-time MVP, I want to say.
No,
one-time MVP.
Time MVP, Platinum Glove winner, two-time.
Yeah, he's got all the accolades.
No, 3-time champion, excuse me.
Yeah, 3-time champion. He's got all the accolades that you can want for a player. but he's not better than Aaron Judge right now. Back in 2018, yeah, you can make that argument. 6 years ago, without a doubt, Mookie Betts was at that point in time probably the best player in baseball in 2018. But we're not there right now. We're in 2025. Aaron Judge just set the world on fire. He within the past 3 years, he set a home run record. He's hit 58 home runs, back-to-back MVP. He should have 3 MVPs. We're preaching to the choir right now when it comes to how great Aaron Judge is, and literally the best right-handed hitter I've ever seen in my entire life. Albert Pujols was great. Miggy was great. But Aaron Judge is just taking this to a totally different level.
Yeah, no, you guys are right about that. But at the same token, you gotta keep looking down as the lineup continues. You gotta look down the lineup. And one of the other things I brought up was Dominguez and Volpe, and having, and it's not a one versus the other type of thing, but it's if you look at their numbers right now, Volpe's power numbers are really good. Torpedo bat obviously is working for him in really good ways. He's kind of went back to like that all or nothing approach. I think today was his single today was the first non-home run hit he's gotten all season.
Exactly.
So
everything else has been a homer.
Yeah, but think of it this way: that's only 5 hits he's got all season. So just think about that. Now, I like the fact that he's in the second half of the lineup. I really do. I think it's perfect for him. 5-6 roll. I think that's his sweet spot. Don't touch him there. Don't move him. Don't move him. You know what I'm saying? Like I think he will really flourish in that area. The Yankees have this notion of that they need to put him at the top of the lineup, and that kind of doesn't work for him. But I do think Dominguez batting in front of him, I don't know, for me, it looks better. It feels better. Like Jasson is coming around, like the bat, he's adapting really well. I mean, it's small sample size, but I think Dominguez following up like a Jazz, who's more of a free swinger, like it forces Dominguez to be patient and start really focused on that strike zone. And that's something that he can really exploit and really flourish in.
So today, I already seen some adjustments that Jasson made from yesterday, like heavy breaking ball. Yesterday was a bad day for him.
Yeah,
like it was.
But you're going against. He's going against an ace. Like he's going against a number one.
Everyone had a bad day against Zach Allen. Like let's get that. Exactly. Let's get that straight. 13 Ks. Zach Allen pitched great. That's the best I've seen him. Anyway, but he was overmatched with that breaking ball. So today, guess what Mike Kelly does? Change-ups. That first pitch change-up and that first at bat, he takes it to the 5.5 hole. And then he gets another change-up in the second at bat, and now he drives it to left center field. Like, I was like, oh, that's what I want to see. I want to see the adjustments from day to day. And the great players, and this is what baseball players have said, the great players make adjustments from at bat to at bat. The good players make adjustments from game to game, and so on and so forth, right? The collegiate players, they make adjustments from series to series, right? Uh-huh. So if J-Dom already at 22 years old is making those adjustments in the game to game, bro,
that's a bat now too.
Yeah, right, exactly. Got that change up, and the first one, I got another one that was up in the zone, granted, but he stayed on it. And he took it to left center field, which is what you want to do, which means he's staying back, he's on balance, and that's just like super duper impressive.
Not only that though about him, like I've noticed it too, that he's been very patient. He's not been trying to chasing everything like that. He's actually out there doing everything that for walks as well to get on base. So that way he might not be, even if he doesn't beat you with his bat, he could beat you with his legs, because like the man's the man's not the tallest man in the world, but the man's built like a truck and he's as fast as a freaking damn roadrunner. Let's be real. So like, it's not like he's a slow guy. So this works out so that way if J-Dom continues batting behind like a Jazz, as we said, that a free-spirited player, that he learns how to be very patient and keep his eye and work that way. I could very well foresee that we're over here talking about all this Goldschmidt on one or Wells on one or whoever else. Like I could see probably midway through the season, if he continues doing this way, him being at the top of the lineup. So that way he's the one taking care of it. And then it just goes into it. So that way no one's actually worried about whoever is playing in whatever the way the rotation is going on that day. Because guess what? J-Dom could be out there as a righty or a lefty then for reasoning for the game. And it's going to be either, it could be then a lefty, righty or right, left, right. And it's going to be back to my idea of getting the psyche of the pitcher destroyed in the beginning, especially aces in the beginning of games, to knock them out so that way we win.
Now let's look at J Dom. First 100 ABs in the big leagues, right? 7 homers, 6 stolen bases, 16 walks, 320 on base, 443 slug, good for 763. OPS. Like, bro, for a guy that's been 21, 22 years old, first time in the big leagues, we're gonna have days like yesterday. We're gonna have moments in time where we're gonna be in awe with what this kid could do. I personally, Mark, I'm on board with you, and having him in that 5 hole. I really don't like Anthony in that 5 hole. I really don't. I want him 6, 7. I think he's comfortable there. Even 8 when Giancarlo comes back. Once the lineup kind of lengthens things out. But having Anthony have less pressure on him to drive in runs. Hey man, just go up there, put the ball in play, and see what happens. I like him better bottom half of the order for sure.
I think when Giancarlo comes back there, I think the Yankees are going to utilize that Jazz Volpe as their like back to back again. That's something they did a lot of last year. Like I said, it's gonna be a different. That's gonna be a whole different animal. I mean, at that point, you might have like a Wells at the 4 spot. You might have Wells in the 1. Could be. I don't think you're gonna put him back in the 1 spot, but I mean, at that point, you might have Dominguez in the 4 spot, having that switch hitter right in between Judge and Stanton. That's a different animal altogether.
Yeah.
I mean, then you also got to wonder, like, what are they going to do with Ben Rice? Like, let's be real. If Judge is back and everything like that, and the man's still doing hot, like, they're going to still have to make room for Ben Rice to stay on there because they're not going to get rid of him. The guy is still batting and playing the way he's playing right now. The Yankees have a great problem right now when it comes to batting. And the problem is that the batting is hitting on the right cylinders at the moment. Okay, maybe not winning the games that we want them to win right now, but it's still early in the season. It's set up in a way that when people like John Carlos comes back, it's like, what do? We have a great problem that we have John Carlos and we don't know where to put him at the moment. Like, that's an awesome thing to do. And it makes it that the rehab for him doesn't have to be rushed, because there's no need for him to get out there as quick as possible. Take your time, big man. We don't need you to rush out here. Get yourself all hot down there in minors right there. So while you're doing all your little games out there, and then come on up and then be hot and then destroy the league again.
The way Ben Rice is going to play is just what he's doing right now, playing first base, right? Goldschmidt's not playing every day. He's just not, right?
They subbed him in right now though. Goldschmidt's in.
Yeah. So, but yeah, right. So fact of the matter, Goldschmidt's not going to be playing every day. And then Giancarlo, when he comes back, he's playing 4, maybe 5 days a week. So that's 3 days right there for Ben Rice to get his bat in the lineup. And if he's going to catch, that's another day right there. So you're looking at anywhere from 4 to 5 days where Ben Rice could be penciled into this lineup, whether it be first base, DH, or catcher. So
you being a utility.
Yeah, exactly. Like a guy like Pablo Reyes, he needs to start hitting some lefties because that's his only job.
Going back to what Alex was saying about good.
I don't want to see Pablo Reyes on this damn field ever again.
That's what I was gonna say. Time to it's an easy fix when Giancarlo comes back. Pablo Reyes gets his ass kicked to the curb.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try to see Peraza. And give him a shot and see what he really is, like as a backup infielder. But for whatever reason, Pablo Reyes' face, whenever he's on the bench, he just looks dejected every time. They pan by him. He just looks like uninterested. He made so
many errors in one game. Like he shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be playing right now.
Yeah,
I don't care. He needs to be passed up on the next time there's gonna be. He said, "Nah, we're gonna go Peraza and be done with it."
Yeah. Put some faith in
No. No, I don't want to see no Reyes out there. No. Okay. But Okay, talking about problems, let's move it over to the pitching problem that they're gonna have, because it's been already said that Schmidt's gonna be coming back, and now we have the problem going on to the pitching area, same type of problem, and it's who. My question is to you guys, and I think I probably know the answer. We got Cookie and we got Will. Who goes down?
Will goes down. It's an easy fix. He's got the options. They're not gonna turn around. They're not gonna, because Cookie Carrasco doesn't have the options. So you can keep him up there for as long as you can till he burns out, and then you can DFA him and then bring Will Warren back up. Honestly, that's a very cold-hearted way of looking at it, but let Cookie let Cookie cook for as long as he can. When he kind of burns out, then kick him to the curb, and hey, Will Warren has been on the rotation, so he's now going back to the AAA. He's gonna stay as a starting pitcher. He's gonna get 75 to 80 to 100, 80 to 100 pitches per game that he does. Let him just do that. Let him put him on a five, and if you really want to push it, don't put him on a 6-man rotation. Put him on a 5-man rotation. Because minor leagues go Tuesday to Sunday, off day on Monday. Keep him exactly on the same type of schedule that Carrasco's on. Pitch him like the day that Carrasco's pitches when you pitch Will Warren. Boom, 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 boom. You have them following each other along. The minute Carrasco kind of starts faltering, Carrasco's out, Warren's in, and you're not skipping a beat.
But why prevent the inevitable? Will Warren's got great stuff.
Yes.
Okay. What he did against Arizona, one hit. Yes, he had 4 walks, but when you're facing a really veteran, you were
going toe to toe with Corbin Burns.
Exactly.
That's what he went to. He went toe to toe with Corbin Burns.
And the fact that Boone left him in a 2-run game, and he threw a breaking ball to get Corbin Carroll look silly, like, bro, like, I'm all aboard the Will Warren train. Now, I'd love to keep him up. Cookie Carrasco, we have other guys in AAA that could provide a spot start. And that's what we would need if there was ever an injury, right? Like guys like Winans and Cam Schittler over in Double A.
Schittler's down in Double A.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be an option in 2025, but he did got a lot of run in spring training. So we do have some depth in AAA. It's not going to be great. It's not like we have a Cody Poteet like we had last year, who was
we could get him back.
Yeah. So like Cookie Carrasco, like he's spent 16 years in the big leagues. He's a good vet, but he looked okay today. But he has to be perfect in order to be good. And to have 2 guys like that in a rotation with him and Marcus Stroman, that's a lot to ask.
Right, but don't forget, this is the Yankees, and the Yankees lean more on veterans than they do on the rookies. It's cool that you see J-Dom in there. You're seeing Wells, you see Volpe, right? You see Peraza, you see Cabrera. You're seeing, Judge like having the possibility, maybe as soon as next year, of having a all homegrown outfield is a legit possibility. That's a cool thing, but it's not something you see on a regular basis, though, especially from the Yankees. They don't really dive into all their farm system, bring those guys up and utilize them that way. They usually utilize a lot of them as trade chips. So with the Will Warren, if you have the ability to kind of play with his service time a bit, because that's what it comes down to, is service time. Bring him up, pull him down, bring him up, pull him down, all that stuff. He's the one that's going to be on the Scranton shuttle.
If we're going to talk about value, though, like if Will Warren succeeds at the big league level, his value is going to skyrocket. And if ever we want a guy like Sandy Alcantara, when the time comes, and let's just say Will Warren is absolutely dealing, him with one of our young kids, or a couple of our young kids, it's not going to be just one, with a couple of our young kids, you're getting an MLB ready arm plus some position players, because that's what's going to take. That's what Miami's going to be looking for, to get a guy like Alcantara. So I'm in favor of keeping him up in the big leagues. Alex, you're the tiebreaker here, man, because Mark and I are on the.
Well, let me say, I'm saying what the Yankees are going to do. I would rather keep Warren up there, but I'm saying that with the Yankees and their track record, they're going to send him down. Then just thinking in Brian Cashman's mind and how they do things, this is a no-brainer. We got someone that we can keep We don't, because if they want to get rid of Cookie Carrasco, he's gone. Like they have to DFA him. He's not around. We get to keep Cookie and we get to keep Will Warren. That's the mindset is of what the Yankees are doing. If you're asking me what I want in my heart, Will Warren's pushing and shoving, so let Will Warren go. But I do think in the end, what I do think is going to happen instead is that they're going to keep Cookie in the big leagues until what's his name? Yeah, Luis Hill is ready. Is what I think is going to happen.
So June, July. That's our second half edition.
That also depends of that Cookie doesn't crumble basically by June, July. Let's be real on that one.
Pun intended, or what was?
Actually, it worked out really well. It worked out. No, I realized the minute I said it, I was like, man, I like that. I'm just gonna
let that ride.
But no, but realistically, it's I really like the idea of the Will idea too. I really do like that idea that Danny says but I'm also not naive, and this is the Yankees, and this is the way that they work. It's a business. You're not going to play the game with your heart. You're going to play the game with a business. And the young man, it has the option, so he is going to be the one that's going to go down. So since I'm the tiebreaker and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to be the honest truth on the tiebreaker, and he's going to be a person that's going to go down. But I mean, I liked when you guys were talking about an outfield that could all be people from the farm, and I'm in my head, I'm like, man, I don't think there's anything been like that, since maybe the Mickey Mantle type days and all that kind of stuff in Yankees. I'm just to have everybody that just came from the farm system was all Yankees and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't they traded or anything that kind of stuff. It's because remember, this is that's older time frame, so it's different. Different, not like it today. So it's kind of man, kind of weird to know that we could have a whole outfield that were all from the farm. That's interesting, and it's something to actually look forward to as a Yankee fan, to be seeing something that hasn't been around in maybe the 50s. I don't have the numbers. I'm not really 100% sure, but I'm just taking a ballpark of that's probably since the 50s that we haven't had that.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope. But we just have to hope that Spencer Jones doesn't strike out 200 times between
100%, 100%. I'm just looking at it as a fan standpoint. I'm
150 will be all right.
So I posed this question last night, and I'm going to pose this to you guys. What can you live with? Can you live with Spencer Jones striking out 28%? Can you live with him striking out 30%? Could you live with him striking out 33%?
Not 33. Not 33. If he only hit 17 homers.
Right, but what if he now is turning into that power? Now, don't forget he's now another candidate, and they already said he's getting a torpedo bat now too. If that's supposed to change what he's supposed to do, I know we're not going down the road of torpedo bats and shit like that. So, but I'm just saying, what if that changes what he's supposed to do? What if that unleashes his power numbers? What if he's now going 25, 30 ding dongs?
You're saying a lot of what ifs. What if this?
Because it's all what ifs. But
think about it. Yes, it's all ifs, but you're giving a shit ton of fucking ifs right now, Mark. Let's be real on that one. Okay. What would I be happy for, in strikeout wise? Okay, I'm not even happy with the 28. Realistically, I would rather it be more a 25% area.
Right, but I'm saying, what can you live with?
Big league average.
What can you live with? What can you live with, though? Is what I'm saying. If he's a strikeout, if he's a strikeout guy, and he strikes out at say a 30% clip. Can you live with a 30% or no? Can you not live with 30%? No,
it has to stay under 30. I feel it has to at least stay under the 30 area.
That's cool. That's my question. Is what can you wholeheartedly live with?
Because the reason why I could have lived with it more has to be under, because yes, I understand that he's gained the power, he's that power hitter, blah 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 blah, but he still needs to be a ball player, and it's not all about the long ball. Yes, we want the long ball, but I want to make sure the guy can make contact on ball. Let me make sure we got some contact on ball before we're going crazy on the power and everything like that, because if he doesn't have the contact on ball, he could be the most powerful man in the freaking world. Let's be fucking real. But you can't hit the damn ball. It ain't gonna damn matter at all at the end of the damn day.
If he could hit 260 with a 28% K rate and 25 bombs and elite defensive center field, count me in. Because you're looking at three or four WAR just with those numbers.
Yes, but like we said, he has to be able to do it though. If he's not doing it, it's not going to be fucking worth shit. It's
the 50% that he struck out in spring training. Yes, in spring training, but he still struck out 50% of the time. I might have done. It's alarming. It's alarming.
Yeah, I might have done the Michael K bashing on fucking Monday and all that kind of shit with all the bullshit he said on the weekend, but like he's definitely says something that's very true though. Okay, prospects are freaking damn
Suspect.
are suspect. Like exactly, prospects are suspect, and Spencer is one of the ones that I look as more of a suspect compared to a J-Dom that I did not look ever as a suspect. I was just like the man was just bothered with the injuries and not enough time to that he needed in the minors, but then he's getting that time right now and he's getting that mentoring that he needs anyway with freaking Belly and damn Judge and the damn locker room. He's getting what he's needing, but Spencer, I don't see that working out for him.
J Dom's always been a very interesting thing because he's only had an X amount of games in the minor leagues. It's not been a whole lot, but don't forget he lost a full year, so he loses a full year for COVID. The following year, he doesn't start off in low A ball. He starts off in the FCL, and that doesn't start till June. So you still have all those 2 months of baseball that doesn't happen. And mind you, I don't even think he really started in the FCL because he's played 7 games and then went to the futures game. Balled out, then I don't want to say balled out, but he hit a home run in there and kind of made an error. Then they moved him right up to low A ball at that point. And then the next season he started low A, went as far as AAA. Then the following season he was in AA, AAA, and then the majors, and then boom, then he gets injured. Then he comes back from his injury and does some rehab stints, and then spent like another month or 2 months down there, and then brought him up. Then they bring him up again. So I mean, he kind of like it's spread out, but he was fast tracked. Like probably one of the biggest fast tracks the Yankees ever did because he's Latin American guy. He didn't start down in DSL. He went right to he came that whole season was going to be DSL. He went right over to the FCL for a week, and then was in low A ball. And he did everything like this as like 2 to 3 years younger than everybody else in each stop.
When you pay a guy $5.1 million, you're gonna get him to the big leagues.
I'll take a look at Robert Poisson.
Yeah. Well, right. Where is he at now? Right. Like.
No, so he's still with the Athletics, and they converted him back to a pitcher because he was a really good pitcher, but the A's liked him as a switch hitting shortstop, so he was going over. And I talked to one of the last episodes we wound up having back before our hiatus. I had Carlos from Yankees Farm and Nick Simmons on, and I think we were wound up talking about it. I don't know if it was on air or off air, but Nick was telling me like, yeah, Poisson kept on asking, "Oh, am I better than J-Dom?" And everyone's like, "No, you're not. No, you're not,
guy. What are you talking about?
No, like you're a better pitcher. Should be pitching. You shouldn't be playing shortstop. You should be hitting." Like they tried him short switch hitter. Couldn't hit left-handed. They stopped the lefty swing, went solely righty, couldn't do anything else, and they moved him back, and now he's being a pitcher.
Yeah. So, well, looking ahead, since we're talking about prospects, we're going to look ahead to our schedule.
Before you go there, yeah. I got a little trivia for you guys, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, what Yankee prospect made it to the majors? Made the rights to the majors the fastest?
Was there somebody that didn't go to the minors or have very limited minor league time?
Like Mickey Mantle?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it.
Mickey? It
wasn't Donnie Baseball because he spent years in Columbus.
Just come on, give me one guy.
Mickey, I'm saying Mickey.
Okay, Mickey, no.
Really?
What you got, Dan?
Is it in the same time frame as Mickey?
Can we get some clues?
Okay, between the 60s and the 90s. How about that? There we go.
Thurman Munson?
No.
George Mercer?
Mike Morgan.
Never have guessed that.
Exactly. The man was drafted in June 11, 1978, and he got the call in 27 days after being drafted.
Wow. I mean, back then, you kind of back then it was a different ballgame, man. Like they brought guys up real fast back then.
Yeah, and then like you got other ones that made it quick that they're saying is Steve Dunning that hit in 1970, Tim Conroy in 1978, Scott Erickson in 1990 also made it quickly.
Scott Erickson, single baller.
Yeah, but if you came up as a relief pitcher, I mean, you could blow through the system.
Yep.
Yeah.
But look at the trivia. Where were you going, Danny? Sorry about that.
Well, we got Pittsburgh and Detroit coming up.
Pittsburgh for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the pitching probables for the upcoming series. But I would assume Max Fried is going to be getting another start.
It's
Well, when
probably
it
saying
comes
he's going to go
to the
against
from
Skeens.
when it comes from Pittsburgh, we don't have to worry about Skeens at all. He's not playing.
Oh, he's not.
Kind of sucks, but also kind of good. Like
Yeah,
from a
there's no-
fan perspective, like it sucks. But from a Yankees perspective, it's like fuck. I'm glad we're missing that guy.
It's Mitch Keller, Bailey Flatter, and
Walter.
there you go. And then Andrew Heaney.
If we don't sweep, Mitch Keller's a kind of tough matchup.
I
but
mean,
really hope he's
I'm not going to say a
smacking.
sweep. I'm definitely not going to say a sweep because I've looked at the weather forecast and it's forecast to be wet. So that's not going to be
and it's cold in Detroit, I think, too.
Detroit. Detroit this time of year. Come on, we already know it's going to be cold. I wouldn't be shocked if we had snow in Detroit like this time of year. Shit.
Hey, and what is it? Gleyber Torres isn't going to be playing against the Yankees, is he? He's injured still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hopefully we'll skip Scuba as well, and we'll skip Flaherty. But who knows what's going to happen in that Detroit series? But we would probably get one of both. If Rodon is pitching, then we're definitely going to see Scuba.
And the Yankees win. The Yankees win.
Yeah. JC Escara, first big league hit. Jazz Chisholm, I think he
Doing
was
his thing.
3-run home run. You know,
Dancing all
Aaron
over the place.
Judge, 3-run home run, and Jazz stole a base later on in the later innings.
It will be an
Dominguez, a
interesting
couple hits.
that series coming up with Pittsburgh. It's going to be an interesting series, at least for weather wise, because I think that's going to be what could possibly stop it. Depending, it could make it that we don't get a sweep. The Yankees don't get a sweep against them. For the fact of the matter that, let's say, weather delays it or weather interrupts it for some odd reason that fucks up the mojo, shit like that. We know it's baseball. Let's be real. Anything could fucking happen, and especially when weather is involved into it.
But realistically, this should be a 4-2 road trip, without a doubt. We got to win both series, and we got to find a way to win both. Like we ran into a buzzsaw of Zach Allen, and Mark Leiter made one too many bad pitches, right? And that's what happened in this series with Arizona. That's literally what it comes down to. But there's no reason why we don't come out of the 6-game trip facing those two teams, and at the very least 3-3. But I fully expect to win both series.
We're speaking facts, sir.
Yeah.
So, anything else? I guess.
I think that's
Good one tonight.
Yeah, good win. I think that wraps. I think that's a wrap for tonight.
I think that is a wrap as well. So I think, Danny, would you like to do it for the night?
Yeah, follow us, like, subscribe, all those fun things that help us continue doing this pod. And we'll see you guys next week. Adios.
Good night, everybody.